Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining us. My name is Femi Boboye from Best Consulting. It's a pleasure to have you join us for another wonderful edition of the SME Roundtable. And I'm so glad to have you. And the reason is because we're having a special guest edition, and I'm so elated. I'm happy that today you have the opportunity to learn from a seasoned professional who is not about to talk, who has been there and has done it. He will be sharing experience with us. His name is Femi Dairo. Before I go into the proper introduction of Femi Dairo, I would just really like to talk about Pest Consulting, who we are, what we do, and why we are having this particular show. We at Pest Consulting is a management consulting firm that offers management consulting services that helps organizations to achieve their growth and expansion target. We also contribute to development and the strengthening of your internal processes and structures that will enable you to deliver on your core goals and objectives. So basically, that is what we do. This show is aimed at helping and developing the entire ecosystem of the SMEs by contributing to the body of knowledge in this space. And that is why we have put this show together. We run this every week, and if you want to be in line with what we are doing here, you can follow us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, and all other social media platforms. We are available. Just subscribe, follow us, for you to always have information about when our next program is taking place. So today's edition is majorly about selling, and we know selling is very critical to the growth of every organization. So we have a wonderful guest today who will be doing justice to the topic of today. And for us, before we go ahead, I think it is very, very important for us to get to know who our guest is. Who will be doing justice to the topic of today. And for us, before we go ahead, I think it's very, very important for us to get to know who our guest is. So basically, and for us, before we go ahead, I think it's very, very important for us to get to know who our guest is. So basically, and for us, before we go ahead, I think it's very, very important for us to get to know who our guest. I'm so sorry for the feedback. Technology is always having a way of trying to mess things up. Basically, we are sorry about that. So basically, let us just quickly go into, like I said, introducing our guest. His name is Femi Dairo. He's an aquaculture consultant, who is also a sales and business development specialist. He's a seasoned, especially with several years of practical and professional experience in business development support to businesses in the agriculture, fashion, tech, and manufacturing industries. He's an agripreneur and currently works as a consultant at Olam Group, and where he has been able to grow his market by 99.16% within 18 months of placement. Wow, that's awesome. In 2019, he founded org.org Developers, a social enterprise helping startups develop disruptive business models that sell and scale. So Femidar is very committed to fostering youth capacity development, and through his experience in the profit and non-profit sector, he has equipped and connected young Africans to new opportunities, impact projects, and startup ideation. They focus on income and impact. He is a gospel and gender sensitive work preacher. You will find him most valuable in entrepreneurship, aquaculture, tech, and social innovation. So it's my pleasure to welcome our guest for today, Femi Dairo.
Right. Good morning, everyone. I think it's already afternoon. This is 12 o'clock. Good afternoon. The weather looks like morning here. Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much, Femi. I'm grateful, and it's good to be here, and it's good to connect with you again. So,
Mm.
I'm going to be very brief. Going to, I'm going to be very brief. I think I have about 30 minutes or so to round up with you. Okay, so let's head on straight to the slides. Let's just display some of the slides, and then we can have an idea of where we're headed. All right. While we wait for the slides to come on, basically, what I'm going to be sharing with you are the basic principles that I personally have deployed to achieve uh, some feats in my career, and then I'll be sharing those things with you. And we all know that principles remain the same everywhere you apply them. Principles remain the same everywhere you apply them. So we are going to be looking at selling services. Selling a product is different from selling a service. You can also have a service that is a product. That's a discussion for another session we're going to have. But today we're going to be focusing on sales and achieving those sales targets. Next slide, please. Okay, so I'll help you to tap into the daily life of your customers. There is a saying that says humans are feeling beings that thinks. Humans are feeling beings that thinks. So it means that everyone you see walking on the street, first of all, are emotional before they are logical, right? So, and that's the first step, and that will also help you to design a product for such individuals, and then be able to meet their needs. So every aspect of our life function in our head. Every aspect of our life function in our head. So I'm going to be helping you to tap into the mind of your customers, and then you will understand why this is important for you to get the best possible results you can have. So people have emotional components. However, some of them are logical, some of them are emotional. So there are components of thoughts that forms the kind of person we are, that forms our needs, that forms our daily lives. So, as you can see on my slides, solve. There are problems they want to solve. So, if you can help people make quicker decisions, help people make more efficient decisions, then they can pay for such. So, especially if people have things they need and they have the purchasing power to get it, when you are properly positioned for it, you'll be able to get value for your service. So you notice that humans have their combination of thoughts, emotions, hormones, senses. People are attracted to what they see, what they hear, how they feel. And that's a combination of what makes us humans. So if you are designing a product or a service for such person, you must first of all understand who you are delivering that product or service to. That's very crucial. So next slide, please. And that depends on a couple of things. You know, if you are selling something to someone, you must first of all understand the neuroscience of that person. That's the neuroscience. They call it neuromarketing. I call it neuroselling. So you can actually have a, a sneak peek into what someone is doing. You can have a sneak peek into what someone is doing. So people want to be respected. People want to be comfortable. I'm talking about services and products in general now. So People want to be accepted. People want to feel important. Next slide, please. People want to feel accepted. People want to feel happy, right? Please keep clicking. People want to feel loved. People want to feel appreciated. People want to feel protected. So if you have a product or a service that helps people achieve the topmost priority of that person per time, topmost priority of that person per time. I'm taking a customer as an individual now. If you can meet people's needs in that area, people want to feel loved, respected, comfortable, protected, important, accepted, and feel heard. It will make a lot of headway selling. So when I got into, of course, I've done a couple of work around business development before I joined the Olam Group. So at those times, I did a lot of study, and I wanted to get into a big organization that where I can be able to practice these things I have learned while working with small businesses, and now working with them is amazing. So when I got into my market, what I did was I understudied the people, because you can't force a product or a service in the throat of anyone, and that is true. You can't force a product or a service in the throat of anyone. So if you must sell to someone, you must first understand the person you are selling to, and that's quite very important. The next slide, please. So you understand what is more important to the person you are selling to. People want to feel safe, protected. In fact, in some areas, people have a sense of ego. People want to feel rich. So if you have a product that helps people feel rich, you have a product that helps people feel heard, you have a product that helps people feel accepted or loved or safe and happy. That's why you see that people hire security services, because they want to have a sense of protection. People hire luxuries, some luxury items, because they want to feel comfortable. So same way to a service provider. If you are providing a service around what people need, and then now backing it up with other value areas, which are most of the time software areas, you will notice that people will tend to tilt towards you. Take for example, when I got into my market in 2019 December in Lagos market, I understood it. I knew I had an elite and non-elite market. So I went there and then understood what the real challenges are, to be able to tap into supporting them. So it's about selling something that is appealing. If you notice all over the place, you will only find one single picture of me on all of my social media handles. It's a strategy that helps people to, you can get people to think that they have met you before, whereas they have not met you at any point at all. I've seen your face somewhere. I've met you somewhere, whereas they have not. But because they have seen your picture somewhere, because of the consistency at work, then you can notice that, oh, people get attracted to you easily, right? So the next slide, please. Now, there are signs of feeling here. There are signs of feelings you get. Everything I have said earlier can be coined into one single statement, which is feeling. People want to feel accepted. People want to feel appreciated. People want to feel rich. And that's how people get you. So you notice that there is a psychological component of sales. For you to get people to buy what you want, or what you offer, rather, what you offer or what you are selling, then you must be there to understand their needs. Okay, so you see the feeling of the sparks in the brain. There is a DNA component of people. Some people are naturally emotional, right? If you can service those emotional needs, they will buy from you. You can imagine that You have, take for example, you have a business plan service to sell, you are a consultant, and then you pay attention to the family life of that person. Next slide. I would explain further as we move forward. Next slide, please. Okay, so, and it's quite important that you know your customer. They call it KYC in the business development space. KYC is basically understanding the things that you can see about your customer, the things you can have information about, which is their name, their birthdays, their children's birthday, their wife's birthday. People get to that point where they have a personal relationship with you. Buying from you is a byproduct. Buying from you comes naturally when people have a natural affection for you as a person. So that's a service. For people to buy your service, they must have a natural affection for you as a person. So that comes easy when you have an emotional connection to somebody. It comes very easy. Next slide. I'm going to be very fast and quick about this one. Okay, so you can have an idea of what I have on my screen: customer name, nationality, the state of origin, religion, and all of that. Every year you get your bank to send you a text message. Luckily, today is my birthday. I got a couple of messages from my service providers. The telecommunication sent me a message. The bank sent me a message. They don't miss it every year. And I look forward to it every year. So that makes sense. So the more information you have about the people you are servicing, or the people you are serving, will actually help you to be able to sell to them easily. Next slide, please. And then this is very important. I have used these charms and and it has worked. Even as I am telling you about this charm, as I am telling you, I'm going to be telling you about the charms. It's still going to work for you against you if I use it for you, because humans are emotional. Humans are first emotional before they become logical. There is always a way that emotions get in the line of logics. So it is certain that once you are able to tap into the neuro of your customers, they will buy. As long as they have the purchasing power, they will buy from you. So I'm going to be sharing some sales charm. The first point, please. So be sound. And when I mean be sound, I mean, if you are a service provider, you are providing a service to someone. At every point, you must always be a step ahead of your customer. If your customer perceive that they know more than you in the area they want to pay you for, they will never buy from you. If your customer perceive that they have more information than you in the area of expertise you claim, then that sales will not come. Second point. So, genuinely deliver service. Because of the emotional component of humans, if you deliver something genuinely, they will feel the energy. In physics, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but can be transferred or transformed from one point to another. So, if you want someone to be happy with you, if you display a smile, very mild smile, like, it's about being genuine. Genuineness does one thing to you and to your customers. It's a power around you. It's like a software. It just goes out of you, and then it works. Take for example, you have a dog. Thank God for those who have a dog. When you have a dog, just by looking at directly into the eyes of your dog and you smile, your dog will come to you. I'll take that again. If you smile at your dog, just sitting afar, and you smile at your dog will come to you. That's like a form of communication that is not spoken. It's just an expression of a feeling. If the feeling is genuine enough, it will generate results, right? So if you genuinely deliver service to somebody, they will feel the genuineness. How they will feel it, I can't explain to you. But these things work. And these things work. When people feel you are genuine, they would buy from you eventually. Next slide. I think that's about consistency. Be consistent. If you are sound, if you are genuine, then be consistent doing those two things. Consistency creates a mark. It creates a mark, a pattern. It creates a mark and it creates a pattern. So there's no way you'll be consistently saying hi to somebody. Every morning you say hello, good morning, hello, good morning, hello, good morning. The day you don't do it, the person will expect it. And so that's one thing about the sales chat. Then the next one, please. If you want someone to buy from you, whatever service, whatever product you have, there has to be tangible proofs of sales. So by the time you are able to be sound, when you are sound, you deliver quality service that people can rely on, people can bank on, and then people have results, testimonies after engagement with you. It is easy to sell to another person. And most of the time, referrals are those things that get people to actually trust the service. The service provider is really difficult. There was a time I was selling service, and then the people I have worked with usually are the ones that bring orders. It's quite easy. The cheapest form of marketing is referral. Not some online ads, not necessarily that. But if you are a startup, you have that engagement with people, they will buy from you. So if you have generated enough tangible proofs of sales, it is sure that people will buy from you. So this is like a caption episode of all the old thing we have in stock for you. So these are sales charms that works. If you apply them, they will work. Of course, that is not to say that there are no challenges. Because there are new tools you are going to be trying out, you must first of all be loaded before you discharge something. If you can't give what you don't have, take for example, if you eat rice, you will not puke beans. It is not possible. It is what you have eaten you will puke. So you understand that once you are sound, you deliver services genuinely, and you are consistently doing those things, tangible proofs will follow. And once you get to a point where you have tangible proofs of sales, people will follow. Take, for example, my achievement on achieving 19% of sales growth in the past 18 months of my placement with Olam Group is first of all because I monitored these things. I monitor my own performance. I monitor my own growth personally. This has nothing to do with my organization. It is because I track performance. And this is very important for us as individuals to note, as starters, as entrepreneurs, as SMEs. We must track performance. That will help us to know the areas of laxity, areas of improvement, and all of that. So these are the sales charms I have for you. Should you have any question, should you have any follow-up questions, you can relate to Pearls Consulting or drop a message on the YouTube channel. We'll respond to them, and then from there you can have personal contact at Pearls Consulting. So please, next slide. Let's see what we have there again. Please don't forget that humans are not thinking beings that feel. Humans are feeling beings that thinks. I'll take that again. Humans are not thinking beings that feels. Humans are feeling beings that thinks. So this is basically what it is. If you smile at someone, there is a tendency, if you are consistent with it, you get a smile back. If you appreciate someone, there is a tendency that someone will appreciate you back. If you deliver value to someone, there is a tendency that the person will deliver value to you. If your customer or your consumer has a sense of value from you, they will offer value in return. The next slide, please. I think that brings me to the end of this session. And then I think I'm fast enough. That brings me to the end of this session. And I think from here, we'll take questions and then we'll respond to them. Please, next slide, please. So, should you have any inquiries, you have the contact of Pels Consulting on your screen. You can reach out to them, and then from there, we'll get to interact and have conversations around how you can grow and develop your business. I know that I know the guys in Pels Consulting, so I know that you will get enough resources from them. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that this is valuable to you. Thank you very much, Femi, and I'm grateful for joining the team and having this conversation with starters, and I'm happy about that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Femi.
Wow. It's almost 30 minutes, and we're like, wow, this is really, really exciting and interesting. It's power packed. I can tell you that I've grabbed a lot myself. That's one of the most important thing that which was what you said last for me was that if you give value to your customer, they are going to exchange that for with a value in return for you. And I think that is what the law of value creation is all about. People use value to get value, and I totally support and I agree with that. Thank you so much for this exciting presentation. I know you could go on and on, and I know we are pressed for time. We can't even actually have as much time as we want to actually talk about these. I think a lot of people want to, because we've been inundated in the past about selling services has been a major challenge for a lot of businesses, especially startups that offer one service or the other, and everybody wants to know how to go about it. Here you go. Thankfully, we have Femi Dairo, who has a proven track record of success. 99.16%. That's no joke, man. That's a lot. That means at least the shams that he has been using, which has worked for him. Thank you for sharing some of these tips with us, and I think they are very, very important. They are small things that we take for granted, but they are very, very essential. I don't know what more to say, but before you go, I would like to ask you, small businesses are out there, they especially in the area of sales, they are struggling. What would be your parting word? Some of them want to hear some word of comfort. Because it is not as easy as you are making it to be. I've been trying, I've been talking to people, but they're not responding as I would have wanted. So how do we go about this? What do you have to say to them just before we wrap up this session?
All right. I understand the fact that businesses can start running a business. Most of the time, you are alone. You are the only one. You are the accountant. You are the marketer. You are the salesperson, and all of that. It is a lot of task, and it's very demanding. However, I would say that you should also look out for partnerships. Look for like minds who would always form a core for you that will strengthen you as a person. Stop hanging around people that will discourage you, because the energy that comes out of you determines how much success you would achieve. If you are always on the positive side, positive things will happen to you. So I believe and trust that these things will help you stay in motion. What is important is keep moving and don't stop. And I think that will work for you. Thank you very much, Femi.
Thank you so much for that insightful contribution. And speaking of partnership, one of the partnerships you can get is to look for a consultant to work with you, to walk through your business plan, your model, your structure, your processes. They can better advise you on how to go about stuff. So that means you don't have to do it all alone. Speak with consultant, best consultant. That is why we are here. Our focus and the reason why we run business or why we are in business, why we open shop is to work with you, so that journey is not just alone. We are there to share with you this journey, and ultimately when you become successful, we become successful together because your success is our success. That is where we are going to stop for today, and until the next time when we are going to be bringing you another exciting edition of our SME Roundtable. Please do not forget, quitters will never win. It is those that keep going that eventually win. So whatever you are doing, keep at it. You are going to become better, and do not forget, like he said, the energy that comes out of you determines the kind of people you attract. Keep the right cycle, and keep striving to become better. Until next time, same time next week, same station, keep it locked down here. Bye.